voice business is far, far more matured and well-defined. If we apply the principles of voice business on data, we find most of the answers there. What I mean to say by this is, let's assume the first thing that we really need to know is what are we dealing with, which is business intelligence. Data have a lack of business intelligence from the management point of view or the operations point of view. Nobody has really been able to actually define a product called bandwidth on demand and bill it properly and deliver it to the customer in the way the customer needs it. Because if that was possible, a corporate or an enterprise customer would actually pay whatever an enterprise service provider would really want. Like Paramjit just said, 5% customers actually hog 80% of the bandwidth resources, which is true. Now, those 5% of the customers are not necessarily 80% of the payers of revenue to the customers. Now, if we can move the entire situation through intelligence, that 80% of the revenue providers are aligned towards 80% of the resource available and restrict in some way whether you put a fair user or not, you automatically arrest the malutilization or the malpractices of the user in which they utilize the network. Because every time what happens is, if I want to control something, I can put a commercial binding onto trying to arrest utility. Even at homes, you think if power was for free, we would have ever put off the lights or the air conditioners? We would never do it. But because we have to pay for every unit that we use of power, we always, the moment we don't need it, we put it off. Now let's assume that we had like the foreign countries, I don't see my bill, but I don't know whether it happens in India or not, whether we had a peak power and off-peak power tariff. Wouldn't all the washing machines and the vacuum cleaners and the other things actually been used during the off-peak time? Because the AC would actually be used at night only most of the time. But your washing machine could always be used in the afternoon. So we would have actually moved it that way. And products and services would have come out like a smart washing machine which you could have programmed to start only at 2:30 in the afternoon, when all other power utilization is at the bare minimum at home. So service providers have to look at tariffing in an intelligent way for their network utilization. And that, the first step is also, like I said, the battle between the marketing and the network during when I was talking. What we really have to do is whether we are addressing the money coming in against resource being utilized properly. If we match the two and marry them properly, most of our problems are solved. And then we can do what we have to do and has to be done, will be done.
So most of the solutions